Lexington, Kentucky may be known as the horse capital of the world, but they're also in bourbon country. Along what is locally known as the Bourbon Trail is a great little distillery named Barrel House. I dropped in to find another Chad along this trail who was ready to give us a tour of the facilities. Let's see how much he knows about bourbon and how many samples I can get my hands on while I'm here. So I'm here with Chad Burns, and Chad, tell me your role here at the distillery.
I am one of the associate distillers here. I run the still, bottle the bottles, make the mash, sweep the floors, wash the windows, give the tours.
Do you drink the bourbon?
Always.
See, this is why this is my guy right here. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a whiskey and bourbon guy, so I'm excited to be here. I really am. I'm trying to contain a little bit because
you need to contain it.
I'm anxious to get to the tasting part, and I'm excited. But you guys have a pretty impressive place here. I want you to show me around.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Take me on a little tour. Show me what we need to know. Here we go.
Right in there is what one day will be bourbon.
Okay.
So we'll let the grains sit in there. We got that yeast in there, and you put your hand in there, you can feel a little bit of heat coming off of there.
Right.
So yes, that yeast eating all the sugar in there. Eventually, all those grains will sink to the bottom, and basically at that point, it's just a really crude, low-level beer that's about 10 to 12% alcohol. Right. Perfectly safe to drink, but it tastes like rotten bananas.
Tastes horrible. Yep.
I mean, I've drank worse, but yeah.
Bourbon's not the only thing you're making here. You guys have a selection of products. We're standing next to what will be moonshine.
This will be moonshine. Devil John Moonshine.
Yep.
He's kind of a Eastern Kentucky folk anti-hero kind of fella.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixture of legend and things that actually happened. Things that actually did happen. He was hired by the Pinkerton Detective Agency that became the Secret Service.
Right.
Put moonshiners out of business, which he mostly did by shooting them in the face. Had over 30 confirmed kills on dead or alive contracts.
You know what? I shoot you in the face.
Efficiency.
Efficiency. Yep. Shuts it right down. All right, so from there, you're going to take it where?
Then we'll crank it on over there to our faithful little workhorse here. This is our still. So basically underneath here, we have a giant gas burner. We'll crank that up and get this to 90 degrees centigrade, which is the boiling point of alcohol.
Yeah.
And all the vapors collect in the dome up here, transfer through that tube into the cooling tank in the back. And that's full of cold water with a coil copper tubing in there where the vapors condense back down into a liquid and come back out as clear gold.
So you've run it through the still, you've cooked it, you've let it ferment, you've run it through the still, you've collected your hearts. Now what are you going to do with those? All
right, so if it's going to be our vodka or our moonshine, we'll then put it into storage tubs that we'll cut with locally sourced spring water.
Right.
And if it's going to be our moonshine that we age, our rum or the bourbon, then we'll put it into the barrels. Okay. Brand new barrels for the bourbon, once used bourbon barrels for the rum and the moonshine.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Talk about the barrels, because a lot of people don't realize the significance that barrels play in the production of bourbon.
Bourbon has to come in a brand new white oak American barrel. It can't be sourced out of country, and it can't have been used for bourbon before.
Right.
You can age other products in bourbon barrels, but it has to be a brand new barrel each and every time.
Okay. So you've got, and so if you look, this is the inside of one of these staves that make up the barrel. And you can see the charring, it kind of alligators that.
Absolutely.
Fractures the pores of that wood. And if you put that bourbon that comes off of that still, or it's not bourbon yet, but if you put that White Dog whiskey, if you will, it's clear, and that barrel is going to do what to it?
That will turn it that beautiful brown color.
Yeah.
That's the aging process, and that sugars, their natural coloration is that beautiful, almost vanilla brown color.
Yeah. Fascinating process. Barrel House offers daily tours at their facilities, and tastings are available for all their products. Barrel House also has rum, moonshine, and is the first in Lexington to distill their own vodka. And now it's time for my favorite part of the tour. Well, my friend,
cheers.
Cheers. Both have regular sized glasses with giant lid.
Tiny.
Well, you can really get the flavor notes on that.
Absolutely.
Nice and sweet, smooth, easy to drink. Very approachable, as one might say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's been fun sweating with you.
Hey, you
Drinking
too.
with you, hanging out. Thanks for giving us a little tour.
You know you were going to tour a sauna as well, did you?
Hey, you know what? Like I said, I needed to lose a little weight, so it's all good.
Fair enough.
You guys need to come out here to Lexington, Kentucky. Come to Barrel House. You need to check these guys out. Take a little tour. Chad will show you around.
I'll be here.
Absolutely incredible products that you guys are making. I'm impressed. Even the vodka. Who knew?
Come visit.
Who knew? I love it. Right next to Barrel House, as I walk my way down the Bourbon Trail, is a place called Kentucky Nose. At Kentucky Nose, they have come up with an insane amount of different and unique uses for bourbon barrels. I met the owner, Tony Davis, who really has a passion for what he does.
You're gonna see into this barrel where I found the Kentucky nose. He's always been in the barrel. It took us to let him out. So now that he is released from the barrel, we're now telling our story through our craft of what we know so well here in Kentucky. Our grills, of course, are made from the barrels. So we take the char scrapings from inside the barrel. You take roughly 8 to 10 ounces from the bag, put it into a pie pan made from Reynolds wrap. And of course, when you do, you're gonna wanna close that grill lid.
Yeah. Woo-wee. I'm telling you what, that's amazing. That's like smelling an open bottle of bourbon.
Yes, it is. Shut your grill lid, allow that to get hot for 30 minutes. Come back 30 minutes later, place your sliced peaches, pineapples, mangoes, and apples, fish stick, pork chops and ribs, hot dogs sliced long ways, fleshy part exposed. Shut the grill lid, and you will be able to get those notes of caramelized bourbon, sugars, and taste in your food.
Now, I think creating good, authentic bourbon, it's an art form, most of which takes place inside the barrels, but Tony has shown me that the barrel itself can take on a life of its own as well. It's amazing to think what an artistic mind can create from something the rest of us take for granted.
Well, we also have our wooden oak sunglasses coming out this fall. They're called Visions of a Thoroughbred, named after the eyes and the Kentucky nose. And you're gonna be able to see what we see in Kentucky when you put my wooden oak sunglasses on. We have our coffee scoopers. Of course, they're made from the bung of the barrel. Here's my easels. My easels are made from port barrels and bourbon barrels.
I'm almost getting to a point where I think Tony could build you a house out of a bourbon barrel. I mean, if you put your mind to it, I've got a pretty solid feeling that you could do it.
I'm gonna give you each a bag of bourbon barrel grilling char, and I'll give you 1 bag of coffee.
These guys don't grill or do coffee, so you know what? Just give them all to me.
Okay, I will.
There you go. I will divvy it up as I see fit and appropriate. I mean, look at this. We're the ones sweating in here, man.
I know.
We put in a day's work.
I know we have. This is a day's work.
I love it. This is the fitness episode of It's My Backyard.
A fitness episode from a barrel.
Yeah, this is the host of the show, Chad Prather, is out of shape. Welcome to It's My Backyard. I need to take more walks around.